So, good morning to everyone. So, today we will start about the topic that is in the previous class we have seen the link state routing. We have seen the link state routing already, and today we will see the another protocol that is the open shortest path fast OSPF protocol. So today we will see the OSPF protocol. So what it is the OSPF protocol? It is an inter-domain routing protocol. It is basically an inter-domain routing protocol and is based on the link state routing. So it is what? It is an inter-domain routing protocol. So inter-domain routing protocol means, what is inter-domain? Inter-domain means within an area, within a system, or within a network. We can say that we have seen that there is two types, inter-domain and intra-domain. So inter-domain means it is within an area. It is within an area, or it is within a system, or it is within a network. Then we call it as the inter-domain. So this is what OSPF is basically, an inter-domain routing protocol, and is based on the link state routing. So we have seen in the previous class that it is the link state routing. So link state routing means what? In link state routing, there will be what? There will be a domain present, and inside this domain, inside a domain, there will be number of nodes present. So each node that is present inside the domain have the knowledge of whole, have the knowledge of the whole domain. Like that we have seen that there is in the example I have seen you that there is an A, B, and C, three nodes are connected. Now A is connected to B and A is connected to C. So that means inside the node A, for node A, the node A topology will consist of the information of what? That how node A is connected with node B and how node A is connected with node C. But it doesn't have the information that how node B and node C is connected. Same as that for node B also, it has the information that how it is connected to node A and how it is connected to node C, but doesn't has the information of how node A and node C are connected. Same as that for node C also, it has the information of how it is connected to node A and how it is connected to node B, but doesn't has the information of how node A and B are connected. That is, we have explained in the previous class. So that means what? Each node has the partial knowledge. And after this partial knowledge, if we combine this partial knowledge, then we get the whole knowledge of the topology. So we can get the whole knowledge of the topology. And after that, we will what? We will do? We will calculate the shortest path. After that, we will calculate the shortest path. And based on the shortest path, we will do what? We will calculate the routing table of the node. So that's how the link state routing have we done the link state routing. This is the process. So open shortest path fast protocol. It is what? It is based on this inter-domain routing protocol, and it is based on the link state routing. So this is what the link state routing. So it is based on that. Now, OSPF areas. Now the topic is OSPF areas. So OSPF divides an autonomous system into areas. Now, if you remember when inside I have said that when there is total, there is a internet is a big thing. We in the previous some classes I have discussed that internet is very big thing. So that means what? We have divided the internet into several autonomous systems. The internet provider does what? This whole internet, he or she that he divides. It divides the whole internet into different types of autonomous system. Now, OSPF does what? OSPF again divides this autonomous system. The autonomous system which we have get after dividing the whole internet into the autonomous system, OSPF does what? OSPF divide this autonomous system, divides this autonomous system again into areas. Now, what areas will contain? areas will contain, it will be the collection of networks, hosts, and routers. So that means in the area, what it will be? In the area, it will be of what? It will be the collection of network, host, and the routers. It is the collection of that. So that is what you see, that internet. Now the whole internet, it is divided into autonomous systems, several autonomous systems by the internet provider, and this autonomous system, OSPF works on that. That OSPF again divides this autonomous system into areas. So now we will see that how it works. Now, this is the total our OSPF. So let's say we are taking this as an example. This is the OSPF. So that means what you see, this is our total. This is total autonomous system. Here you can see this total. This total is an autonomous system, because after dividing the internet into several autonomous systems, we are taking that this is an autonomous system. So inside this autonomous system, what OSPF does, what? It divides into several areas. So you see, this is an area, this is an area, and this is an also an area. Here as an example, I have written that 3 areas, but it may happen that there are multiple areas may be present. But I have taken as a simple example here that the one autonomous system I have written, and in this autonomous system, I want to show you that there is a 3 areas present. I have shown that, but this is not the case, because the number of autonomous systems are maximum, and also inside the autonomous system, there will be several areas. But as a for an example, I have taken that. So inside this, you can see inside this an autonomous system, it is, I have taken that the 3 areas are present. Now, inside the areas, you can see what the areas will contain. The areas will contain the lands. Here you can see this is the land, this is the land, this is the land. So inside the area, it will contain lands, routers, and one border router, or one area border router. So this is what, this is at the lands, and this is a router. This is a router, and this is called the area border router. So area border router is the big router. What it's working, we will explain it. But now you understand that there will be what? There will be one area border router. But there is not the limitation of what? Routers. Their routers may be more than, there is no restriction. But it has to be in mind that in each and every area, there should be at least there should be one area border router. So area border router is the big router. So here you can see in this area, what? This is the LAN, this is the LAN. So one LAN is connected with the router, and it is this router is again connected with the LAN, and this is also connected with another LAN. And of this whole, it is connected to a area border router. It is connected to a area border router. Now, what it is said that router inside the area, that means this is the router. Router inside the area flood the area with routing information. So that means what? This router will flood. This router will flood the area with routing information. So it transfers the routing information. We have know that each node that will be present inside a domain, that means what? Inside a network, they will do what? They will route, or they will transfer the routing table with each other. That is the case. We have know that for the routing table. So that means what? In this area also, in this area, there will be what? There will be present LANs, routers, and one area border router. So area border router is the big router, area border router. So here you can see this LAN is connected to the router, and again this is connected to this LAN, and this is connected to this LAN. and all of them, after you can say this is connected to the area border router. Same as that for this area also, you see this is a LAN and this is connected to a router, and this router is connected to the area border router. And again, this is connected to the router, and this router is connected to the another LAN. So same as that, this will happen. That's how the areas will be present. Now, what is the working of this area border router? What is the working of this area border router? Area border router is the special router. Area border router is the special router that summarize the information about the area and send it to the other areas. That means this area border router will what? It will do. This is the area 1. So that means whole informations of the area 1, whole informations that is present inside the area 1, it will do what? It will summarize that information and send it to the other areas. Now, how it will send? It will send it to the other area border router. It will send it to the other area border router about this information. So that means here also you can see in area 2, that is another area border router present. In the area 2, there is also another area border router present. So that means in the area 1, if we say in this area 1, it summarize this area border will what? Area border router will summarize whole information that is present in the area 1, and it will send to what? It will send to the area border router of the second area border router of the second area. So that's how. And vice versa also may be applicable, that it summarize all the informations of the area 2 and it can send to the area 1 area border router. So that's how it can works. And all the areas inside the autonomous system must connected to the backbone or the primary area. Now, our autonomous system, we will divide an autonomous system into several areas. But one thing we should have to be in mind, that there in this autonomous system, one area will be the primary area. Now, why it is primary area? In this area, what? The backbone exists. Here you can see this area 0. We have declared this area 0 as the primary area. And inside this primary area, there will be the backbone router present. There will be the backbone router present. You see, this is the backbone router. So in the primary area, there will be the backbone router present. And here you can see this area border router. This area border router, how it will send to the another area border router. The summarizes, after summarizing the information, how it will send to the other area border router. It will send that, you can see this area border router is connected with what? This area border router is connected with this backbone router. So that means what? The information will travel from this area border router to this backbone router. And after this backbone router, now you can see there are the two backbone routers present and they are connected with wide area network. So that means the information will travel from this area border router to this backbone router. And after this, it will go through this wide area network and it reaches to the another backbone router. And after this, from this backbone router, the information you will see that it is gone to the area 2's area border router. So that's how the total information goes. Now, where the backbone router are present, in an area where the backbone routers are present, we call it as what? We call it as the primary area. And other areas in the autonomous system, we called it as the secondary area. So that means what? Here I have used two. I have two areas and one primary area, two secondary area and one primary area. So here I have used two backbone routers. But if there is what? If there is n number of areas present, then what? the backbone router will be also n number, because if then the information will not able to travel. So that means what? If there will be the n areas present, then the backbone router will be what? Then the number of backbone routers will also be n numbers. So that's how the communication works. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Or anyone has any question? Suchitra, Suresh.
No, sir.
Okay. So this is about what? This is the our total that of this OSPF, what in the autonomous system, how the actions are performed, how we done the actions. We have seen that. So this is what this is our total descriptions. So now this is what we have seen, that how it works and how the autonomous system is divided into areas. And if there is a several areas, we divide the our autonomous system into several areas, there must be one primary area will be present, because this primary area will contain the backbone router. So this is what our total OSPF. Now in the OSPF, there are the types of links present. In this OSPF, there are the types of links present. Now, what are the type of links in OSPF? So what basically what we call as a link? A connection between two routers is called a link. We all know that if the connection between two routers, we called it as a link. Now there are the four types of link. There are the four types of link present in the OSPF. What are those? Point-to-point link, transient link, stub link, and virtual link. These four types of links are present in the OSPF. Now, point-to-point link, what is the point-to-point link? We already, if you remember that it is mainly the what point-to-point connection. And in the network, point-to-point connection. So point-to-point link means what? There will be the dedicated link. There will be the dedicated link present between two routers. So here you can see that is written that it connects two routers without any other host or router between. That means this link is what? This link are dedicated. That means inside this link, there is no routers present. So it is dedicatedly connected with another router. So this is called the point-to-point link. Next is what? Next is transient link. Now, what is transient link? Transient link is what? It is a network with several routers attached to it. So that means what? There will be a network present. There you can see that there is the network present. And in this network, several routers are connected. You can see in this single network, all the routers that are present, all the routers that are present are connected in this single network. So that is called the transient link. It is a network with several routers attached to it. Means there will be a single network present and all the routers that are present will connected to this single network. That is called what? That is called the transient link. Now, implementation of the transient link is also two types. Now, this transient link implementation is also of a two types. What are they? One is unrealistic and another one is realistic. There are two types. It is of a two types implementation of the transient network. It is of two types. One is unrealistic and another one is realistic. Now, what are the difference between them? That realistic, unrealistic, and realistic. In unrealistic, you can see all the nodes. In unrealistic, you see all the nodes are connected with each other. Here, in a domain, if in a domain or in a network, all the nodes are present, they are connected with each other. This is what the unrealistic. And for realistic, there will be the designated router present. There will be, you can see, there is a designated router present. And this designated router, through this designated router, all the message and packets are transferred through this. That means here you can see all other routers, router A, router B, router C, router D, and router E. All these routers are connected to these designated routers. And if anyone has to send any message, this message should, or the packets should be transferred through this designated router. So that means if A and B wants to communicate, then A has to send the message or packet to this designated router, and through this designated router, it will pass to the B. Same as that, if D want to send something, then the message or packets should be sent to the what? Through this designated router, and through this designated router, it will, the message or the packets will go to the router A. So that means all the message and the packets, are transferred through this designated router. So this is at the implementation of the transient network, and it is of the two types. One is unrealistic and another one is realistic. In unrealistic is what? All the nodes are connected with each other. And for realistic, all the communication between the routers should go through this designated router. That is what this differences. So these are the second type, that is the transient link. Okay. Then the third is what? The third is the stub link. Now, what is stub link? Stub link is, it is a network that is connected to only one router. It is a network that is connected to the only one router, and the data packets enter network through this single router and leave the network through this same router. So that means what? There will be only one router present. There will be what? There will be only one router present. And here you can see, as an example, I have taken that there is a Ethernet. There is an Ethernet present, and a router is connected. A router is connected here. So that means any information has to come. It should enter through this single router. Enter through this single router and pass to the what? And pass through it. Same as that, if any information has to go outside, then through this same single router, the informations will go out. That is the what? Our stub link. That it is a network that is connected to only one router, and the data packets, whatever the data packets enter to the network, through this single router. And the data packets, if I have to send the data packets to another, so that means what? Through this single router, it will be, or the same router, it will go outside. This is what the stub link works. And the last type is the virtual link. Now, virtual link is what? When the link between two router is broken, the administration may create a virtual link between them using a longer path. So let's say, through an example we understand. Let's say there is this is a same as that, this is a, you can say this is another, this is B, this is C. and this is D. Let's say D. So there is the connection with A and B, A and C, and C and D. So let's say these are connections present. Now here we say that we mark them as N1, 1, 1. The cost of the distance cost. Let's say. Now let's say this link between A and B gets broken. The link between this two A and B, from between A and B, it is broken. So now A and B are not communicating, not able to communicate with each other, because between them the link is get broken. So what now it will be possible? Now the administration will create the virtual link. Now the administration may create the virtual link between them using a longer path. Let's say the virtual link is created from C to B and D to B. These virtual links are created and its cost is 1 and its cost is 1. So the virtual links are created. Now you see that from A to B, we can go through what? We can go through from A to C and from C to D. That means what? That means now the cost will become 2 because it goes through this path from A to C and D to B. But previously the cost is what? The cost is previously 1. Previously the cost is 1. But now after creating the virtual link, it has done what? The cost has become now 2. Same as that from another path we can go from A to C and from C to D and from D to B. So 1 plus 1 plus 3. There is another path also that cost will become 3. So that is what? That is, we want to say that the administration like this will create the virtual link. May it happen that it takes a longer path or the cost became high. It may happen, but the administration will do what? It will create this virtual link between them and using the longer path. Okay, clear? It is clear to everyone? Suchitra, Suresh, Dolly, Manisha, Morgan, क्लियर है तुम लोगों का?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
कोई जगह में कोई दिक्कत होगा तो पूछना, ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
So this is all about the links that are present. Now, we will know the OSPF package format. So first we will know that what are the OSPF package format looks like. Now you have already seen in the routing information protocol also. In the routing information protocol, there is the frame format present. Same as that for OSPF also, in the OSPF packets also the frame format are present. Now in this frame format, you can see that there is what? First, the version is present. First, the version. Now the version is what? The version is of 8 bits. Next is type. Type is what? Type is also 8 bits. Then message length. Message length is of 16 bits. And after that, the source IP address, then area identifier, then checksum, then authentication type. And after that, at last, it is the authentication, which is the 32-bit. Now, what are this of this field? We will know one by one. So now, the version, the first field is the version. The version field is of 8 bits. The version field is of 8 bits, and It specifies the version of the WSPF protocol, that which versions of the WSPF protocol we should use. Version 1, version 2, version 3, whichever the versions we can use. This version field says that. Next, the type. The type is also what? The type is also 8 bits. Now, this type field will specify what OSPF packets type. Now, today we will not able to discuss that there is the 5 types of OSPF packets present. This 5 types of OSPF packets is hello packet, then database description, then link state request, then link state update, and link state acknowledgement. These 5 types of packets are present. What are the uses of these packets? In the next class, I will discuss, but till now, you will remember the 5 types of packets present. This specifies, this type will specify these 5 packets, whichever package should be used, specify the type of the packets. The next field is the message length. Now the message length is what? The message length is the 16 bits. The message length is the 16 bit. So it specifies the length of the message it specifies the length of the message, including the header. Including the header, it specifies the length of the message. Okay. So this field specifies that. After that, there is the source IP address. After that, it is the source IP address. Now, source IP address. Source IP address, this is the what? This is the sending router. This is the sending router IP address. So that means the sending router's IP address will be specified by the source IP address. After that, the area identifier or the area identification, area identifier. So what this field will define? It defines the area in which the routing takes place. Now we have seen that in the autonomous system, we have divided into the several areas. So that means what? In which area? The several areas which we have divided after the autonomous system, it is divided into several areas. Now inside which area the routing will take place, it will specify that. So as an example, we have taken that area 1, area 2, and area 0. So that means what? In the whatever area that is in, let's say, in the area 1. So it specifies that area identifier will specify that in area 1, the routing will take place. So this is what the area identifier. Okay. Then next is what? Next is checksum. So what checksum will specify? Checksum will specify if there is the error. If there is the, it is of error detection. Checksum. For what purpose we use checksum? We use the checksum for error detection and correction. So checksum field will do what? It will used for error detection and correction. Then next is what? Next is the authentication type. Now there are 2 types of authentication type. It will specify with 2 bits. One is 0 and another is 1. Now, if it is 0, that means for none. And if it is 1, that means password. That means password is required. So authentication type, its value may be 0 or 1. Its value may be 0 or 1. 0 means what? For none. And 1 means what? For password. And authentication is of the 32 bits. Authentication is of the 32 bits. Now, what authentication field will contain? It is the actual value of authentication. It is the actual value of the authentication data. It will contain the actual value of the authentication data. Okay, so these are the 8 fields. These are the 8 fields, and each and every field has of this working principle. Okay, clear to everyone? Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
So that is up to till now. So we have used the WSPF packet format we have seen. Next class, the portion we didn't able to discuss today, that is the WSPF packets types and what are these packets work, how these packets work, and when these packets are used. We will discuss it into the next class. So now you scan the QR code, and with this, if anyone has any question, then you can ask. Okay. In this meantime, you scan the QR code, and if you may think that if any questions you may arises, then you can ask it.
सर
बोलो.
सर जैसे कि ये सब जो आप पढ़ा रहे हैं नेटवर्किंग, सर ये सब एनिमेशन में पढ़ाना पॉसिबल हो सकता है क्या? क्योंकि उससे अच्छे से समझ में आ जाता है कुछ कुछ कि कैसे हो रहा है कैसे नहीं हो रहा है।
तुमका कौन सा जगह में, इसलिए बोल रहे कि कौन सी जगह में तुमको प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, बोलो.
सर समझ में आ जाता है बट फिर भी मतलब पूरा 100% समझ में नहीं आता है। तो जैसे कि होता है ना कि थोड़ा एनिमेशन से बताने पर वो चीज समझ में आ जाता है हाँ कि ऐसे हो रहा है, तो उस तरह से पॉसिबल हो सकता है क्या नेटवर्किंग में?
वो तो देखो, ये तो है नॉर्मल, तो फिजिकली अगर होते तो पॉसिबल हो जाता, बट इसमें देखना होगा अगर ये जो चीज है ये अगर पॉसिबल हो सकता है, जैसे सिस्को पैकेट ट्रेसर देख के हम दिखा सकते हैं, अगर पॉसिबल हो तो हम ट्राई